Link engaged.
Visit us at TeamSpeak.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final game. It's 2-all between two fantastic contestants right here. I bring you ZeNEXYong. He is in the blue trunks. He is playing Protoss to the west of the Shattered Temple versus his opponent in the close air position right here. From Team Acer, it is Nurturio. He is in the baby blue and he is to the south.
Yep, breaking the baby blue curse last game. And now looking, you know, like taking it to a fifth game. This is with some really impressive play. He never let down the aggression in last game.
Nope.
He just held off the extreme aggression by Yong in the third game. So I don't know, man. I think Nurturio's got Yong's number.
Yeah. Certainly seems to be. I think he's figured out that the aggression is Yong's strength. If he can shut it down and turn the tables and go mega macro mode, which he did, then things will go really well for him. Now, in the first couple of minutes of this game, we'd like to remind you folks that this is sponsored by TeamSpeak 3, and they're also sponsoring a rather unique event next week, because next week, the TL Open will be, for fun, a 4 versus 4 setup.
Yep, and we say for fun, but it's gonna have the same price as the 1v1. So go practice 4v4 and use TeamSpeak for it, of course.
Sounds like a plan, honestly, if you want to coordinate with your 4 versus 4 team. And this is the kind of situation where we could see anyone come out on top, so go for it. I don't know of any really large established 4v4 teams. Do you have any 4v4 teams in Complexity, Cat?
We do not, but actually we might. Yeah, we do.
You must compete.
Sure. What?
You must compete.
Oh yeah, we might. I'll talk to my 4v4 team and see if we can make it happen. That'd be fun.
Special tactics going on right there. I'm looking forward to that. 4v4, not exactly the most well-known competitive format, but we'll see how that one goes there.
Yep, and again, Nurturio this time around does take the gas, and again, there's a map where taking the gas is useless. You can't useful. You can't possibly wall off your entire ramp that fast. So Ling run-bys are very viable, and as well as stalker pressure and that sort of thing, especially in positions like this. So again, Nurturio not playing like a robot. He's playing the map, and he's a fantastic player, and he's shown that so far. So let's look and see. He's not pulling the drums off the gas yet, though. We'll see if he decides to do that.
Not as of yet. Wants to try and take that probe out. He shouldn't be able to do that, however. Takes his expansion. He did scout the timing of that second gas. Going down pretty quickly right there. Could, of course, be indicative of some sentries. Here we go. First sentry coming in. And Yong, I think, is also kind of playing the map. He is well aware of the possibility of Ling run-bys. And there we go. Yong's going to try and defend against this, and he should be able to do so without too much of a problem. And Nurturio, not being suicidal, is not just going to keep throwing Lings at that. He needs to wait, needs to try and get his speed up, and see if he can then find a little hole in that defense. But Yong with a second sentry coming in. But again, I think this is perhaps part of Nurturio's plan. Yong doesn't like to play defensively. We've seen this in this series.
Yeah, indeed. That was pretty fast gases by Yong. He might just be going for a 3-gate expander, or even 1-gate expand, it seems like, as he's currently boosting a third sentry off of that. But yeah, he could still do something tricky here. It does look like his fallback plan, though, is gonna be to play normal to some extent, which is a little bit strange.
Yeah, it's strange for Yong. Anyway, Yong, we've seen some incredibly crazy mind games, some stuff that has boggled our minds, some stuff that has boggled the minds of the viewers, and indeed of his opponents. He is an incredibly smart player. But Nurturio, also an incredibly smart player, so it is a battle of wits right here as they both seem like they're going to play straight up. We've got that 1-gate expand, as you were talking about right there, with the extra sentries to make sure that it's nice and secure. Try and get an early economic lead over his opponent, because as we've seen, when Nurturio gets macro mode going, Yong can't do anything to stop it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure why Nurturio never took those drones off of gas. I feel like he could have put the drones, like 3 drones back on gas a little bit later rather than leaving those 2. But I mean, he is preparing to go heavy on roaches, or at least being super defensive. And I'm not sure if he's just trying to get to that, and I'm not sure if he's feeling a little bit overconfident and just kind of like you know, just saying, okay, this guy can't beat me if he don't cheese, so I'll just prepare
I
for
certainly
cheese.
hope not.
I hope not either, because it looks like Young is actually not planning to do anything of that sort. I mean, he is getting a starport, but that's quite a late starport. He might get a Void Ray or something like that to try and deny Nurturio's third. However, I don't think this is going to be any sort of all-in coming from Young this time around.
No, I don't think so. The Stargate's a really smart play, especially considering the positions on the map, especially considering the map. It's so incredibly common to grab this one on Shattered Temple. We'll see if he decides to go for that Void Ray. Yes, he will. That's an immediate Chrono Boost. And Young doesn't really have what he needs to push with this. But that said, Nurturio doesn't really have anything to counter that yet either. He's only just started his lair. He does not have an Evolution Chamber either, so he'd be relying entirely on Queens to deal with the Void Ray, which is never a good prospect.
Yeah, exactly. And if we look at the Harvester counts, like, Nurturio is pretty much even. Again, I think he's just been overly cautious this game. You know, I like 2 Spine Crawlers. That Roach Worm was incredibly early. He never took his drones off of gas. None of these are mistakes, but I feel like he's being a little bit overly cautious. He could be way ahead in drones at this point, and he has to be disappointed, or he had to be disappointed when he saw nothing was coming his way, because now he has to be thinking, okay, I could be so much more far ahead if I just trusted what I saw rather than what I've been seeing this few games, you know?
Yep, and he now knows about the Void Ray. There's a Phoenix up as well in the mix, which is going to take that Overlord down for free. Nurturio will try and get as much scouting information as possible. He sees the timing of the Robo, and of course he doesn't even need to see the Stargate, but he'll notice that there's only one. Infestation Pit on the way up right here. The Evolution Chamber is now complete. We've got Spore Crawlers coming in as well, plus an extra Queen. And usually what you'd see here is perhaps a Void Ray, a pair of Phoenixes, but that's not what we're seeing from Young at all, so Young getting a little bit tricksy.
Yeah, it looks like Young is just trying to deny this third, and Nurturio responding quite well to this, though, pulling every queen, even the one from the main. So even though this Void Ray is charged, he's not gonna be able probably to take this this expansion. Not even with the help of the one Phoenix, because he has now 3 queens. And
Seriously?
Young not being careful.
Wow, why would he do that? That is a bit of a critical misstep right there. He had all the time in the world to get away.
Yeah, absolutely. He might have thought it was just 2 queens. Maybe he wasn't watching. Maybe he thought it was 1. Again, like, Nurturio's response was incredibly fast and incredibly effective. He pulled all 3 queens before the Void Ray showed up at his third. He just knew there was a Void Ray on the way, and he knew where it was going, because that's where Void Rays go. They go to deny your third. They know they probably can't do much at your natural, your main, because you always have those 2 queens helping each other. So, you know, Nurturio, or Young 1 step ahead of Nurturio, and Nurturio 2 steps ahead of Young. So Nurturio 1 step ahead, obviously, unless, yeah.
Well, it sounds like some kind of crazy dance going on right there, to be honest, and I don't know the steps, but evidently Nurturio does, so we'll see whether or not he can come out on top on this one. Infestors on the way. We love ourselves some Infestors, but of course that's going to be going against Colossus. Seen no sign of Neural Parasite just yet, although of course it is a possibility. And those Colossus could potentially be a threat, but they're not exactly coming out at a rapid pace.
Yeah, absolutely. However, I think that Nurturio is now in a great position after that, man. Like that was huge. Taking out that Void Ray, it's just huge. You know, like, what that Void Ray does early on is basically it tells your opponent, okay, like, you stay on 2 base, I stay on 2 base, we chill. Because if you stay on 2 base and I stay on 2 base, then we're cool. But if you go to 3 base, then my strat is kind of like shaky. So just killing that Void Ray is like, okay, I go 3 base, you stay 2 base, and it's like, oh no, but there's nothing you can do about it. So now Nurturio taking 4th when Young is only taking his 3rd. It's definitely looking good for Nurturio, I think.
Oh yeah, it's looking absolutely fantastic, and of course he knows about the 3rd now. He was shot from the high ground, which indicates only one thing, that there's something lurking up there. Ventral Sacs on the way up for Nurturio as well. Could be looking for a big Roach Doom drop plus Infestors. We could indeed be seeing a 4 Infestor hit squad. There is the possibility.
Yeah, that's, I love Infestor drops in ZVZ and ZVP. They are amazing. They're one of the things that I've been playing against the most as of late. And they're just incredibly effective. I find them to be more effective than Banelings, and then you just pull them back, your Infestors are still alive, and they're just like, okay, you guys did your job, go chill and gather some more energy. Nurturio with a fantastic creep spread again as a result of him just being over-prepared for that starport. So, you know, Nurturio has been over-preparing for everything, and it's kind of working, man. Like, I was a little bit scared that he would fall behind, but he's caught up thanks to killing that Void Ray and taking that fast third, and everything's looking really pretty.
I'm liking the 5 queens as well. He's had those up for quite some time, and he's been making full use of them to get ridiculous creep spread. He's now almost got his creep spread to the middle Xel'Naga tower, which is perfect for reacting nice and quickly. There's really no way that his opponent can outflank him in any way whatsoever here. He's still got the back destructible rocks up as well, so it would have to be a full frontal attack one way or the other. Gonna add another Phoenix into the mix right there for Yong. He's actually building up quite a large Phoenix count. This would be his 5th.
I absolutely love that. I never see any Protosses, or very few Protosses, do this. And Phoenixes are actually a great response to Infestor, as long, of course, as you don't clump them up. You can just lift off the Infestors, and then you're like, okay, well, you know, like, oh, Infestors are OP. Well, not if you can't use them, they're not. You know, like, with his Phoenixes, he can just basically cancel Phoenixes for Infestors and even kill the Infestors. Of course, you have to be careful not to clump them, but they should be incredibly effective in battle. Now, Infestors are a good counter to Colossi, because you can Neuroparasite Colossi, and then, you know, everything else gets fungled and everything else goes down. But what happens, TotalBiscuit, if you Neuroparasite Colossus, and then your Infestor gets lifted off the grounds?
Neuroparasite breaks.
Okay, I was hoping you knew the answer to that, because I'm not sure.
I'm sorry. I'm almost certain the Neuroparasite breaks. But
yeah, I'm almost
I suppose we're going to find out, aren't we? That's probably what's going to be happening right here.
Yeah, we
That's going to be on one of those
Protosses aren't smart enough to do it lately, it seems.
Yeah,
but
it's
this
true.
man, this man.
Oh yeah, he has good brain, And
good brain.
What I would say about that is that's kind of the thing we're going to have to watch on one of those StarCraft 2 Mythbusters episodes, because I've never seen it done. As you were saying, it's a criminally underused strategy, but this is an unusual composition for a Death Ball. Lots of Colossus, plenty of Stalkers. There's some sentries hidden under there, because my god, that's huge. But here we go, and let's see just how good
beautiful fungles. No
here we go.
Going anywhere.
Here come the railings. Oh my. Oh, it's a massacre right here. And Nurturio brutalizes his opponent. Very nice. That was a really good fungal as well. And now he's going for the throat. 21 more roaches coming in. Yes, there are Phoenixes still in the air that will harass those Overlords, but there's the quick borrow right there by Nurturio, and tries to throw down right now on Yong's natural. He's going to break his way through here, and this is what he needs, I think, to take this entire series.
Yeah, absolutely. That was fantastic play with Nurturio. However, the trade wasn't as bad as it looked for Yong. I mean, all that's left is roaches. If Yong can hold this, he will be even on basis with Nurturio. So it all comes down to these few roaches doing enough damage right here. But that is a ton of roaches.
Yep, he brought some spares, and those Phoenixes will be able to lock them down for the time being. It takes an age for Phoenixes to kill roaches, though, so that's going to be a little bit of a delay, and nothing more than that. Nuking down pylons, gateways getting shut down left, right, and center. A couple of Colossus in the mix right now. Really good positioning right there on the Colossus, and tearing through that roach line on the flank. This is really nice defense work right here by Yong. Roaches now making their way up to the third right here, and there's still quite a lot of them. Something to consider. Bear in mind they're 2-2 as well, so that's a lot of damage coming in. Nurturio, I think, microwing. He was running himself into the base right there, but he kills the Nexus nonetheless. He's going to sacrifice quite a lot of roaches to make that happen, though.
Yeah, but that's okay as long as he can keep his base advantage.
Down goes the fourth as well.
While all this happened, while all of this was happening, Nurturio just sent 4 roaches to the gold, so that it was up, so that it wasn't being mined, but then just continued to rally there while he forced Yong to defend his third. So great play by Nurturio, and now he's super ahead.
No doubt, and he's building 11 Infestors because, hey, why not? And they will be ready to bring the pain as Yong extending himself over onto the creep and showing his opponent exactly what he had, which is interesting to say the least, and deciding, no, this is a terrible idea. Now backing off, lots of long-distance mining going on as Yong is desperately trying to keep his economy in check, and he is starting to fall behind.
Yeah, I kind of like this decision by Yong because there isn't really much that he should be able to come back to this game. So just double expanding to both of those expansions might be a worthy risk, but Nurturio's gonna notice.
Yep, one brought down already. A great fungal. He nails down
Oh,
three
look
of
at
the
that!
Phoenixes. Ah, there's the
That's
lift.
scary.
That's
Oh,
only
there's
one.
There's one getting lifted off.
Yep, second and the third right there. There's still plenty of infestors in the mix, though, so Fungal's coming in. Neural Parasite on the back right now. There's some free Colossus. We're seeing the lift. Yes, it does break it. There we go. We've learned something new
Yes! It does break him.
today. Infested Terrans coming into the mix right now. He needs to bring down that Colossus, and it survives, but only just mass Infested Terrans with +2 upgrade right now, but getting incinerated by that Colossus at the back right there. Nurturio continuing the pressure. For the moment, Young holds, but for how long?
Yeah, this might just be game right here. TotalBiscuit, it's not looking very good for Young, and Nurturio just doing fantastic. And I would like to see him take an expansion on the back of this. Not the biggest deal. I mean, he's just been denying Young's off of his own expansions for a while now. But yeah, I mean that was fantastic. Now Nurturio not very saturated in his natural, actually, just ever so barely, but a nice drone spread nonetheless. Now he's taking a fifth, and I don't know how he's listening to the cast, because we're casting.
Well, he'd have to be some kind of time traveler if he was doing that, but I wouldn't put it past Nurturio, honestly. This crazy preconditioning. He almost took the robotics facility down with a big Ling run by, took out a few probes in the process, but this is a bit of a bind. Oh, beautiful fungal right there. He nails down 4, and another fungal to follow that one up. And does he have a fungal energy? That's another fungal. He might take out one Phoenix, not quite enough. Has to throw away that Infestor. He's not too worried, though. He's going for Hive. He has a massive army. He's sitting on 95 versus 75 at the minute. Baneling's coming in. Good upgrades as well. That's something I really should point out for Nurturio. He's been doing incredibly well on that. The +2 armor has been helping him out a ton. And those Zealots are not going to do an awful lot against Roaches with that kind of armor.
You know what, TotalBiscuit? The supplies aren't that far ahead. I mean, the map looks like, like the game looks like it's been on Nurturio's, going Nurturio's way for the most part, and it looked over a couple times there, but the supplies aren't that far ahead. And if we go back to that one fight that put Nurturio so far ahead, I feel like Young was ready for the Neuroparasite, but instead Nurturio just fungal growth and just Baneling drop. And that he did not see coming. And those Baneling drops were some of the most effective Baneling drops I've seen, just because the fungal growth just kept everything in a bowl and in place. So I feel like Young might be going for a similar unit composition, and Nurturio is going for a similar unit composition, so they might just be going for round 2. And if Young can spread his army a little bit better this time around, the outcome could be completely different, I think.
I think so, and I've got to give Young credit, because my god, he held on against something that most people would not be able to do, and came out with good economy as well. He's still doing fine. His tech is intact. He has a good number of Colossus on the field, sitting on 6 at the moment. Good Stalker count, plenty of those as well. His army is slightly behind Nurturio, but not by a huge amount. There is a Great Aspire on the way, which really could shut things down quite unpleasantly. And he's got a bunch of Corruptors in the air as well. So those Phoenixes are going to melt incredibly fast. Nurturio now finally getting to the stage where he will be maxed out on supply. Young trying to drive some of that creep back, because that creep is almost at the natural of Young, and that's not a pleasant prospect.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Nurturio only has 59 drones, but what that means is this army is just so deadly. Especially for how cost-efficient Banelings are, and Young with a beautiful spread this time, though.
It's good.
Wow,
it's really good.
All the infestors.
Yeah, he nailed them all down there really well. Baneling's coming down on top of the Colossus right here, and of course the Corruptors tearing their way through that. Oh, wow, Burrowed Infestors sneaking in right now with more Infested Terrans. There's still some Banelings left in there as well. And Young's army, for the most part, has, of course, been destroyed. Nurturio reinforcing immediately on the back of this, and that's the real advantage he's got right now. He can just immediately rebuild, whereas Young's economy, that's not in a good enough state to be able to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. That was beautiful positioning, beautiful everything for Young. Unfortunately for him, this time around, Nurturio was also one step ahead of him. And he did have those Corruptors, and that just made all the difference in the world. So again, Young in a really tough spot, and he might try to go for a final push here.
Yep, and here we go. Broodlord's coming in for Nurturio. This is where Nurturio feels most comfortable. His Broodlord play is outstanding. I'm very surprised to see him take him that late, but he's been under so much pressure from such a great opponent up until this point. I can hardly blame him. But now the push of doom is being prepared. Oh, beautiful fungo right there to take an observer out. I feel that's insult to injury right now. Will Nurturio be able to nail this down? It's looking likely. Army supply is not looking good for Yong. 62 to 119 as Nurturio preparing to remax it. Here comes that engagement. Not enough Stalkers, I don't feel, to shut that down. A fungo
doesn't
growth
look like it, and fungal growth.
Yeah, here we go. Baneling's coming down as well. GG, ladies and gentlemen. Nurturio with the comeback. And there you go. Nurturio takes it against Yong, and he is the winner of this TL Open. And what a great series of games that was.
Very, very, very nice. And I'm not sure if the replays are released, TotalBiscuit, but I just want to point one thing out about that game. Imagine that second engagement was the first engagement, Young would have won this game.
Yes,
you know,
very true.
Like, it all came down to the micro in that engagement. And the second engagement, Young was like, okay, you have Baneling drops, I'm gonna spread my army out. And then he fought a beautiful fight when he was way behind in army count. But then those Corruptors made all the difference in the world. The first fight was extremely similar, minus the Corruptors. But we saw the intention, like how he lifted off in the second battle all of those Infestors. Like, those Infestors were useless.
Yeah, Yong played so well there. His defense is absolutely impeccable. And I know we were saying earlier that, hey, he's an aggressive player, but his defense there was as good as it could have possibly been. He simply got steamrolled. It was kind of a matter of time there, simply because of the size of Nurturio's economy and how quickly he could remax. But well played by both then. Excellent series of games. You always like to see the finals go to the full 5 and have some great drama, and that's what we had. And we are about done for this TL Open, as brought to you by TeamSpeak. Remember, it's 4 versus 4 week next week, so get your 4v4 team together to compete for that $200 prize, as brought to you by TeamSpeak 3. And this is the opportunity where we get to plug stuff, Kat. So, Kat, are you streaming at the moment?
Well, not at the moment.
What? No, right
yeah,
now,
no,
Kat
no,
has actually been playing this entire time because he's that damn baller.
Yeah, follow me on twitch.tv/coL.CatZ, and also visit complexitygaming.com whenever you get a chance.
Yep, that's brilliant.
Pretty much it
Great
for me,
team.
I think.
Great team.
It is.
Got to congratulate TriMaster for his amazing MLG run right there. And I don't think really all that many people expected that, but Complexity fighting at the moment. I'm looking forward to seeing you in some future tournaments and show matches, Kat. And in the meantime, I would like to remind you that I've moved all of my StarCraft content over to youtube.com/TotalBiscuit. It is not on Total Halibut anymore. We've got a StarCraft-only channel. There's tons of odds going up on there on a daily basis, including my daily ladder stream on twitch.tv/TotalBiscuit if you want to see a Gold League flailing horribly. But I do like battle cruisers, and that seems to be a nice little gimmick for me. So if you want to see some battle cruisers, you want to see some Gold League action, you can find that over on twitch.tv/TotalBiscuit, and all of my tournament VODs to be found over on youtube.com/TotalBiscuit. The VODs for this will be available on Team Liquid's YouTube channel, so go and check that one out. And remember to follow me, TotalBiscuit, on Twitter as well. Cats, you've got a Twitter as well, don't you?
Oh yeah, it's coL_CatZ. I'm just bad at plugging stuff.
Yeah. Plugging is a useful talent to have. Ladies and gentlemen,
yes.
My name has been TotalBiscuit.
And I am Complexity'sCatZ. It was a pleasure, by the way, sir.
Yep, Cats, you are one of my favorite players, so thank you ever so much.
Casters, by far.
Yeah, thank you very much. We'll have to set you up a show match at some point. I want to see some more proxy hatchery goodness. Okay, folks, we're done. We are out of here. You just watched TL Open. You just watched Nurturio take that finals, and we are done. Good night.
See you.